Oh my goodness. And there it is. Wow, get the pin to go.
Hello, bowling fans, and welcome back to Bowl TV for the final round of match play at the 2021 PWBA Pepsi Classic, part of the Fall Classic Series, the season-ending event of the 2021 season. We are coming to you live from the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada. I'm Aaron Smith, and joined as always by, well, Emil Williams Jr. will be back here in just a moment, folks, to join us for the broadcast. But we are ready. The final 6 games of match play to determine the top 4 here at the Pepsi Classic. Maria Jose Rodriguez, on the strength of a 5-1 record, moved into the top spot. Dasha Kovalova falling to second for the first time in quite some time here at the Pepsi Classic. So we are going to go ahead and get to the lanes right now as we get underway. There we go. Just like that, folks, we are ready and see Maria take on Kelly Kulik. One of several matches ongoing. Here at the NBS, we'll get you the full rundown in just a moment. Across the house to kick things off here for game number 1. Liz Johnson taking on Jen Higgins, Stephanie Johnson versus Sandra Gongora, Brianna Cote versus Missy Harkin, Dasha Kovalova versus Lindsay Boomershine, and Julia Bond against Verity Crawley, and of course Maria Jose Rodriguez and Kelly Kulik. On BowlTV.com, every pair in play is available to watch and enjoy, but the standings are going to be crazy. It is going to be a very hectic ride for the players in the mix here, and arguably everybody's still within range of this top 4 for the stepladder finals tonight. Maria overtakes the top spot at plus 665. Dasha Kovalova, second place at plus 640. And this is when it starts to get really fun. Brianna Cote, plus 567 in third. Kelly Kulik, currently the cut number for the stepladder, plus 537. 9 pins back. Missy Park, plus 528. Julia Bond, plus 517. Liz Johnson, plus 512. Jen Higgins, plus 506. Stephanie Johnson, plus 495. So all the way to 9th place within 42 pins of the show. So essentially, a win against an opponent in that mix is enough to catapult you to the top of the week, or into the top 4 potentially. Verity Crawley, plus 445, less than 100 pins out from the show. 92 back. Lindsay Boomershine, who shot 280 in the final game, now 105 back of the show, plus 432. And Sandra Gongora also on the strength of a big final game, 256, plus 403, 134 back of the show. We are back on our 43-foot lane condition being used here at the Pepsi Classic. Maria looking to make her first championship round appearance of the 2021 season. Pretty crazy to think that she's actually been one of the most consistent cashers on tour this year. But when she's made it onto those next rounds, she just hasn't been able to find that extra gear that we saw in 2019. And of course, when she won her tour championship, her second major in 2018. So we did talk to Maria right after the block, and she's essentially kind of said, when was the last time I won 5 games overall versus, in a row like she did there in just one round. So I kind of got the impression that, she still feels like she's thrown the ball well. She's competing the way she wants to. It's just the breaks haven't been coming her way. So it'd be great to see Maria kind of end the season with a little extra momentum at a place she's had success at before. But before we bring Emil Williams Jr. into the show, we found him, folks. And he's got some surprises for you as well if you watch last block. But let's run down the format one more time. 12 players on the lanes were the top 12 from qualifying over the course of 12 games yesterday in the same 43-foot condition. They bowled 6 games of round-robin match play earlier today, and now this is the second 6-game block, which will include a position round in Game 6, so the always exciting position round. And then total pinfall and bonus pins from victories in match play, 30 for a victory, 15 for a tie, 0 for a loss. Those totals, the top 4 will advance to tonight's stepladder finals, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on BowlTV.com. We're going to be here for Game 1 on Facebook and YouTube before we send the feed exclusively to BowlTV.com. We'll talk a little bit about that more, but let's welcome back Emil Williams Jr. to Bowl TV.
Good people of Earth, how's everyone doing this afternoon and evening? I don't know where you're watching from, or morning. Aaron already gave you the recaps and know who's leading. That's who we're watching. Good shot. It's going to be fun down the stretch here. I expect the mood to be, and not that the mood was bad, or it was just different. There was just a different kind of feel earlier. It'll be a little bit different this afternoon as well, especially with show spots on the line. Viewer's choice in Game 3 coming up. If you're unfamiliar with that, we essentially allow you to vote on which match you would like us to watch on the main channel. So that'll be during Game 3. Then, of course, we'll have a position round. Now, we got very lucky, Aaron, at the way the Reno Classic second round of match play worked out, that we kind of had 2 position rounds in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
There was one particular match. I believe it was Kelly Kulik versus Verity Crawley at the time. Does that sound right?
That does sound right, yep.
In Game 5 of the Reno Classic final round of match play on Tuesday. That then led right into the official position round, but that game ended up kind of being the real difference, specifically for Kelly in that situation. She defeated Verity, moved into the show, and did not relinquish the spot, her or Stephanie Johnson. Will we see such intrigue? Well, the score certainly suggests that we very well could. Aaron talked about surprises as well. For those of you who joined us this morning, you know that there was a good chat conversation based on my hot tea this morning, which regarded milk in addition to or added into tea. I said I would try it. I went and got some Earl Grey. And, of course, I didn't know what milk I should get. I said, well, let's go with something that I normally would try. So I got a touch of skim milk. I haven't tasted it. I waited till we started the round. And then you'll get a chance to see it. my facial expressions and all. Although maybe not, because I can't technically remove my facial barrier. I guess I'll have to figure that part out. I didn't think it all the way through.
Figure out a plan for you.
A new debate has begun.
Milk and tea. How about that?
Who knew this would be such a dumpster? There are interesting thoughts on it, though, that we've learned. I was in the Michelle Perry boat. Never crossed my mind that you would put milk in tea. But many do, and I'm going to try it. Getting it to push, fade.
Got a nice little match coming together here.
We do, and Miss Johnson off to a nice start here in this game one. Not messing around. Someone said that Stephanie Johnson left a 7-9, which by her scoreboard would have been in the 5th frame. It made another split in the 6th after the front 4.
We had that very business-like vibe in the venue for the first round, and I don't know. I think by the time we get to 4, 5, and 6 here, we haven't seen too much emotion yet from anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're due. I think this is bottling up right now.
And that might have been part of the mood this morning. There just wasn't a lot of energy. I'm not saying that they weren't exerting energy, which they were. Visibly, there wasn't any emotion being shown. And so it was kind of subdued. Folks is out there just doing what they do, going about their business, throwing strikes, or as Dosh would say, tripping fours and taking names.
I have to question that reference, though, just in general. What do you do when you take the name? Is it like, do you have like a list you keep in your pocket and like you write down the names, or like today on your phone you put it in your notes, or is it a mental name list that you have when you're taking the names? Is there a chalkboard involved?
I would have a list, have a notepad handy, write said name down, and that's one you don't need to take anymore.
But what would be the purpose to reference the list afterwards? Just to see the names that have been taken?
Historical references.
Historical references? All right.
Which day and time that you took said name,
Okay.
and maybe how many times.
How many times?
It's been multiple.
Multiple offenders. All right. All right.
$134 pins. 4 to 12. That's not a lot. Good shot.
Talked a lot about the great work our guy Joe is doing from Bowler's Journal. Be sure to follow them on social media to see all those coming up. He put together a little story on Maria during the break. Got some thoughts from her and said, in reference to the season and everything, it feels like she's been forced to play her C game a lot. There's been very few opportunities for her to really feel super comfortable out on the lanes, just due to the conditions out there. So she's feeling comfortable. And we see what has transpired so far, and she is going to get the mixer there. I suppose when you feel you're kind of trapped out there and really can't get loose, get aggressive, especially up against the best players in the world, that's going to make it tough.
Yeah, no doubt. When you feel like you're not at you can't potentially be at your best. That doesn't mean that you're not throwing it the best. It just means that if you've got to go to a couple of items below what gets you going. And sometimes you're not always in the mix, if that makes sense.
Tenth frame upcoming here. Max score for Rodriguez. Working on 3 in a row, 246. Since Kelly was unable to strike in the ninth, and she gave up a couple pins in count, she now could strike out for 243 and take the L.
Kelly's throwing it really good.
Now Maria will still need the first hit in the 10th here with a spare by Kelly. But no longer would need the double. Some other scores in the books. 248 to 200. Liz Johnson over Jen Higgins. Lindsay Boomershine is up 14 heading into the 10th frame against Dasha Kovalova. Parkin's going to be in the 250s and collect a win against Brianna Cote. And then the 10th frame left to go. Verity Crawley holds an 8-pin advantage with both players working on a strike against Julia Bond. Stephanie Johnson going to collect a victory as well. Can still get into the 230s. Sandra Gongora finishes with 171. 2:32 in the books. Real of a lead. The first strike in the 10th, along with good count. To secure the victory. There it is. The two-time major winner. Still needs decent count here.
She buried that one too.
And just find the pocket here. You really just don't want a 6 count or anything like that. That is 9. That's a winner. 30 bonus for our tournament leader. Lindsay Boomershine is going to get the victory. She struck out to shut out Dasha Kovalova. 2:15 will be enough for the W. Julia Bond needs a double in the 10th now to defeat Verdi Kral. And while we have the opportunity at the end of this game, before we move to game 2, just a friendly reminder for the good folks watching on Facebook and YouTube, this will be the end of our broadcast to those platforms. BowlTV.com, the place to be to watch throughout the rest of the round, and of course the stepladder finals later tonight. You can pick up an event ticket starting at $8.95 for the rest of the day and the stepladder finals. There is a bundled package as well, $19.95 for that. So $8.95 and $19.95. And then, of course, a monthly recurring subscription, $9.95. An annual recurring subscription, $79.95. Transaction fees do apply at all 4 price points. But remember, folks, with the recurring monthly or annual, you get full access to BowlTV.com, which includes great things like the archived events in case you miss any of the live action. Of course, all of the on-demand content as well. So BowlTV.com, the place to be. You have a great community in the Bowl TV chat. Always keep things lively in there. And, of course, giveaways. But not yet, folks, not yet. We'll have some giveaways as well coming up, including some bowling balls later tonight. So we got 3 bowling balls to give away during the stepladder finals. So the only way you can win is by watching on BowlTV.com, folks. So that's going to do it for right now. We're going to go ahead and make that switch. So if you're watching on Facebook and YouTube, we're saying goodbye for right now, but we certainly hope to see you later on Bowl TV. And for those of you already on BowlTV.com, hang tight. Emil and I will be right back. Earl Grey and more from the Pepsi Classic.